I pray that everyone is safe and is doing well. What is going to happen? I'm taking next week off. I am turning a new corner, and it is time to do what I said I was supposed to do. It is time to start listening to my young people. Don't get me wrong. I've been doing it since I started. But now, since school is in session, things have gotten off to rocky starts. For some, it's been good. For some, it's been not so good. I reached out to my young people and asked them, what is going on with you? Like I mentioned before, when they first went to virtual, we all had a discussion of how they felt about it. So the obvious thing that I was going to do is, now that you're back in person, I wanted to hear from them. You got so many adults speaking on behalf of the youth, but have you even asked the youth? You got so many grown folks, politicians, legislators speaking on behalf of the children, and you didn't even ask the children. You're sitting up there talking like you know what's best for them. No, you don't, because you didn't ask them. So my group knows when something's going on, we're going to talk about it. So I'm taking next week off, because during that time I am in conversations with my youth, and I'm fenced to let the youth tell me what they want to talk about. And some of the things that we came up with is how they feel about going back to in person, how they feel about this mask mandate. Then they also gave me 3 more: dress appropriation, self-esteem, and school drama. See, when the babies talk, I'm always listening. And those 3 that they gave me, outside of the other 2, are spot on, especially because of what they see that we don't. You remember I've talked about many times that we don't know what they see when they go to school. We don't know what they hear. We don't know what they're witness to. We don't know what they're feeling when they're seeing the things that they see. Somebody has to be able to speak for them when nobody else is listening. So they know they got me. And now I got a microphone in front of me. I got the internet. Please, everybody gonna hear what they got to say. So this podcast is just about what's to come. Things are going to change a little because my babies have spoken. So we're going to switch gears. Like I said, since I've started, I've still listened to the babies, but that was before they went back to in person. Well, now, because like I mentioned when I first started this, we talk about godly things, but we also talk about worldly, because we can't ignore what's going on in the world. We can't bring God into the world if we're ignoring what's going on in it. And because I'm here to help motivate people from the cradle to the grave, that means I need to start listening to my babies. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna listen to you adults too. But it's time for the youth to speak. It's time for somebody to hear what they are going through, what they are seeing, what their concerns are, what they wish adults would do, which I know fighting is one of them. Stop fighting. But it's time for us to listen to them. So you can't help somebody if you don't know what they're in need of. And you don't know what they're in need of if you're steady more yelling and bickering and arguing and nobody's bothering to ask, okay, what is it that you see? What is it that we can do? Which brings us to another title that they meant, trusting adults. These days, youth do not trust adults because adults do not have their best interests at heart. I mean, it could be something political while they're doing the things that they do. It can be something motivational. They could be bullied. Because I told my babies, once you get older, the bullying just changes. Bullying is bullying. It don't matter. It's just age appropriate bullying. So we don't know if people making decisions because they're being pressured into it. We don't know. But the point of it is the babies are seeing things that we need to recognize, because we don't know how to properly help them if we don't even acknowledge that they know what their problem is. That's like you telling somebody, who's struggling with something. Well, I know what you need. You need some food. You need some money to pay your bill. You don't know what they need because you didn't ask them. Same thing with the kids. How are you going to sit there and help them get through school if you don't even bother asking them what they see the problem is? Which is what I did, which is what I always do when it comes to my babies. Oh no, I keep up with them. I told you, those who want me to keep up with them, they let me know how I can keep up with them. And they respond. When I ask them something, they respond. Because I'm not bothering them. I'm just checking in on them every once in a while. How you doing? What's going on? But I knew with everything that was going on, with everybody speaking on the youth's behalf, the students' behalf, did anybody ask the students? So I'm taking next week off because I'm going to utilize that time to start getting things together for my youth, because I'm letting them speak. So the next time we come together for the next couple of podcasts, it's going to be what they said. Then it'll be followed by me. Because regardless of what the youth say, it's going to be followed by an adult. So we're going to get the youth perspective, but then we're also going to get the adult/parents perspective as well. Because with the youth, there's only so much they can do. Why? Because they're young. People still don't listen to them today. Even though you're sitting up there advocating for them, you're still not listening to them. That's why I step in. Oh, somebody's going to hear what you got to say. Trust and believe. So this was just an introduction of things that are to come. We got a couple of new little things we're going to discuss, listening to our youth. And by all means, if there's things that youth want to hear that you know of, that they have questions as to why this or why that, let me know. We will talk about it. And then as far as us adults, if there's things that you want to talk about, let me know. Again, that's what I'm here for. From the cradle to the grave. From the time you take your first breath to the time you take your last. Right there in between is where I come in. Everything I say, we may not always agree, and that's okay. We don't live in a utopia. We're supposed to disagree. Not everything that people say people agree to, but you're going to relate. Why? Because I'm always telling you about my life. I'm not ashamed of nothing that I did. I thank God I'm still here to talk about it. And we all know that it's only relatable if it's someone we know, okay, they've been through, man, they did more than I did. Oh my gosh, how is she still sane? You know what? I'm not ashamed of nothing I did. I just thank God that he knew what was going on inside my soul, that he didn't let me kill myself or let myself be killed, because there's been times I was set up for stuff. I'm just glad that he knew what was within me. That he knew I was that problem child. Here go that child of mine. If I say white, she says fuchsia. Here she go again. I say left, she turns straight. There she go. But he knew where I always came back home to. And I'm glad that he let me be that living testimony that doesn't mind sharing what goes on with me. I don't care. Because maybe if I tell you what I did, that'll stop you from doing something. But now it's all about the babies. And we're going to listen to the babies for however long it takes until that message gets across. Because if they give it to me, I give it to you, that opens up the door for conversation to have with your own children. Or if you're an educator, with your own students. Or if you're a family member, with your own young people. It gives the door ways to blow off its hinges, to get that door open. So now when we stand in front of the Board of Education, the governor, the mayor, whoever's in charge, when we stand in front of them, we can stand on authority to say, this is what we know they are needing. This is what our youth are saying is the problem. Instead of taking guesses, taking stabs at people doing this or taking jabs at other people trying to do that, we can now stand up and say with authority, we know what the problem is because we asked them. And this is what they said. Then as the adults who are responsible for the children of the village, we can start to make things happen. Remember, it starts with us. We have to be that light in their darkness when they think nobody is listening. Don't get me wrong. If I get to talking, everybody's going to hear me. Oh, I am loud. I was born that way. That's why I could sing a song without a microphone and sing it like I'm in a whole cathedral by myself and you're going to hear every single note. That's another blessing God gave me. If I'm going to be heard, you're going to hear me. And what I will not have is people ignoring the children, especially when you're supposed to be helping them. Just like you can't help me if you don't ask me what I'm in need of, how are we going to help them if we don't ask them what it is that they see that the problem is that we can help them with? So I ask you to pray with me Pray for me and stick with me with these young people as we start talking about things that they see. Things that they're needing that nobody else is listening to, because I've also asked them, well, what do you see the problem is? What do you think needs to be done? In your opinion, what do you think needs to be done? So again, we're taking next week off because my young people have started flooding me with their ideas. I gave them subjects, topics. They brought me some more topics. So I think the first one that we're starting on is the in-person thing. How do you feel going back to being in person? And they've already started with what their feelings are and what they've seen. So with what they told me, I went back with them. I said, well, tell me what you've seen. Because one of the things they mentioned is how they're trying to keep it safe. But it's kind of hard when you got so many kids in the school. So my question to them is, okay, well, what is it that you're seeing? You already gave them credit for trying to be safe. What is it that you're seeing that's not working? Trying to keep you all safe. So we will talk about that. And of course, the paralegal in me is going to read about this mask mandate that the governor signed, because I'm going to read it and we're going to talk about that too. So again, pray with me, pray for me, and pray for these young people who are now coming to the forefront because somebody actually asked, what is going on with you? What can I do to help? We're going to help. We're going to get this village put back together where people are not afraid to help children that they don't know. You see a child in need, you go help them. We're going to get that village put back together. I'm old school. I never stopped the village raising the child. Never. That's why I got 20 plus kids. Never. Never, 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 never. And I never will. Because sometimes in life, all they need is, and you heard me say before, is that one adult that will listen, that one adult that shows that they care, that one adult that when they're emotional, they're just a wreck. That's all they need, which is why one of the topics I chose for them that they agreed on was trusting adults, because you can't have young people come talk to you and then you telling their business. Well, you just lost their trust. And anybody who is around children who know, once that trust is gone, it's gone, just like an adult. Once you broke your trust with me, I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm not listening to you. I'm not going around you anymore. So again, we're taking next week off because my young people are coming with what they want to talk about, and we're going to talk about it. And again, if there's things that you want to talk about, let me know. If you talk to some young people and there's things that they want to talk about, let me know. We will talk about it. That is what I'm here for. Stay safe, stay blessed, and still be that light in someone else's darkness. God bless you.